For thousands of years, our darkest actions, greed, wrath, gluttony, have been labeled as sins, moral failures to be condemned. But what if these so called sins are just normal failings, but consequences of brain biology? Could the line between pathology and evil be blurrier than we think? Today we are diving into fascinating world of neuroscience and the human behavior with insights from clinical neurologist and sleep expert Professor Guy Leschziner. I definitely butchered this guy name. I'm sorry. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about morality, free will, and human nature. Number one, how human brain influences the sin. Let's start with a simple idea. Your brain can profoundly affect your behavior. Medicines for conditions like Parkinson's disease, for example, can cause impulsivity, hypersexuality, or even binge eating by altering the brain's reward circuits. Steroids can inflate your sense of self importance. Even anti seizure medications might spark uncontrollable anger. And it's not just drugs. Brain structure itself plays an important role. Tumors, strokes, and degeneration can trigger behaviors like hypersexuality, extreme pride, or envy. Think of these changes as brain's circuitry going haywire. These cases reveal how closely tied our emotions and actions are to the specific regions of the brain. Number two, the genetics of morality. But the story starts even earlier at the conception. Our genetic code holds clues to our potential for aggression, lust, and even overrating. One infamous gene, MAOA, nicknamed the warrior gene, has been linked to violent behavior. People with certain mutations of this gene have even used it as a part of their legal defense. Genes can also shape our hunger and body weight. Imagine always feeling ravenous no matter how much you eat. That's the reality of the people like Alex, a young woman whose genetic makeup affects her brain's hunger regulation. Number three, environment and the sins we commit. Then there are the environment. The Jesus famously said, "Give me a child until he's 7, and I will give you the man." And modern science backs this up. Childhood experiences, whether nurturing or traumatic, shape our brain development and personality. Take aggression for example. A stressful or oppressive childhood can lead to structural changes in the brain, making emotional regulations more difficult. Even global events like famine leave their mark. During the Dutch hunger winter of 1944, pregnant women who starved gave birth to children whose metabolisms were permanently altered. Depending on the trimester, those children grew up to be either underweight or prone to obesity and heart disease. Number four, the evolution of sin. Here is a twist. What we call sins, lust, greed, wrath, may have helped our ancestors to survive. Lust ensures reproduction, greed drives resource gathering, even sloth, that ever tempting laziness, is a way for brain to conserve energy when the effort isn't worth the reward. But evolution doesn't stop at creating these impulses. It also gives us tools to manage them. Consider aggression. While we share violent tendencies with chimpanzees, humans have evolved a unique ability to organize and punish excessively violent individuals, shaping our species' aggression levels over time. Even our approach to sex has evolved. Unlike chimpanzees, human females don't have obvious signs of ovulation. This has driven the need for long-term mating strategies, ensuring partners stick around to increase the chances of reproductive success. Number five, rethinking free will and morality. So where does this leave us? With the modern imaging and genetics, we learning that many behaviors once condemned as sinful, like excessive pride or wrath, can often be traced to physical changes in the brain, whether caused by tumors, strokes, or even upbringing. As technology advances, the line between moral failings and neurological disorder grows increasingly thin. If much of our behavior is shaped by factors outside of our control, biology, genetics, environment, then can we really call someone as evil? Or they simply the sum of their brain and experiences. And here is a kicker. How do we decide what's normal? After all, traits like narcissism, greed, even anger can sometimes be asset in leadership, business, survival. At this point, does personality trait become pathology? And who gets to decide?